Last week I was testing for you some papers, and I hope you liked the reviews, that it was useful. Because I really like paper, as I told you last time, I decided to continue this series, okay? But testing just watercolor paper, so it's like a watercolor paper testing too, okay? But I was in doubt actually if I should or if I shouldn't do this review, because there's some of these papers that I don't know, I never worked with them, I just took them for the testing, okay? But anyway, I hope the tests will be okay, and that we can learn together. And if you know more about these papers, you can tell me, okay? I would love to hear about it. So the first paper that I will be talking about today is this one, the Moulin de Kock, that I already tested last time. Is by Moulin, okay? 325 grams. It's a bit heavier, I think, than the one that I tested last time. And Grand Torchon, so it's very, there's lots of texture. Really good paper, I love it. What changed that I wanted to show you this time is that I am using different brushes. I was testing if the brushes change a lot the painting. So this is the watercolor and this paper with a Raphael brush in pure martre and Marthe Kolinsky. That is like some of the best brushes that you can have. Actually, is this brush here, as you can see, and I really like it. The result is very uniform, and the result with other brushes is here. So this first is a Da Vinci brush, very good too. It's not that expensive, it's half of the price of the Raphael ones. And this is a very cheap, the dollar, I never know how to say this brand, Daleroni, okay? So is this one, this is this one, and this one is the big one by Da Vinci, okay? But it really changes, especially the feeling of the painting using this brush, because it loads much more water than the synthetic brushes, so the painting is uniform and it seems that it will never end. So I could graduate this from dark to light without reloading the brush, that it keeps the painting uniform. But as you can see, the paper gives you good results even with cheaper brushes. The last tests I did with a very cheap brush that I bought in Brazil many years ago. I don't even know the brand. So the paper is very good, and if you can use this paper with a very good brush, so you have amazing, I mean, you, of course you need the experience to do, but it changes a lot the feeling of the painting. I'm not, the brush will not make you paint better, but it changes, okay, the experience. I hope that I will do good things with it, okay? So this is the first paper that I tested, and the second one was this by Moulin II, okay? It's called Britannia. It's a bit lighter, 300 grams, okay? It's a grain, is a thin grain. I will show you closer. It dries very slowly, and I say very slowly. It's very slowly. Today was a rainy day, so it influences a bit the humidity, everything. But I tested all the papers at the same time, and this one, when I finished the tests with all the ones, it was still wet. So very good for the watercolors. I prefer more textured papers, but because this one is not that textured, it worked very well for the colored pencils. And this is a colored pencil mixed with water by Supercolor. And this is the Copic and Tria markers results. What I noticed too when I was doing this test with very good paper is the markers that I didn't have very good results in cheaper papers. They perform very well in there's more expensive paper. So the Copics, they still performing very well, but the other ones that they didn't blend this well in cheap papers, they start to work very well. I will show you just for comparison, in case there's no comparison between this paper and the other one, but just to show the difference. Okay, it's the same markers. Okay, so you can see here the difference in the blending. Okay, it's completely different. This is a cheaper paper. It's the one that I didn't like because it ruined the watercolors. But so you can see that the choice of the paper is as important as the choice of the materials that you're using. Okay, so I'm not testing these pens in these papers just because as they are too textured, they don't work well. I know that they don't work well, but I know that between the Micron and the Sakura pens, and the Micron and the Unipin pens, this one, Micron by Sakura, works better in these papers with grain, with texture. Okay, so this is the second paper. As I said, all of them are very good. You don't need to worry about it. The goal of these videos is not to test what is the best paper, because they are very good, but to know the different results in each paper. Okay, so the next one is by Fabriano. I love this brand, really. I like it a lot, and it's 25% cotton paper. It dries not too slow, not too fast. I don't know how to explain, but it's you can see here is enough to do the gradients, but it's not too slow. So if you are painting, I think in an open space, I think it would be good, because you don't need to wait that much to have the paper dry, and it doesn't work very good, I think, just for the colored pencils. Okay, because the grain is too deep, so the colored pencils get stuck on the paper, and it's difficult to smooth them later with water. But it's very good. I have nothing to complain about this paper. And here again is a comparison in different brushes, and with this brush it gets a bit less uniform because you can load a lot of water, so it deforms a bit the paper. Of course you can press it again. You can press it after the paint is done, but because it loads a lot of water, it will deform the paper. Okay, but this is the best characteristic of the brush. Is not how I say is an advantage of the brush. Okay, so next paper, let me pick here. Okay, this one, Sintener. This is one of the brands that I don't know, that I just took for this test, and it worked very well for everything. This way I can't, there's nothing I can really complain. All the papers work very well. You just need to pick the one that's better for what you're searching for. I like it that it stains. You can see here it makes pretty stains, and it dries slowly. And again, the markers, all of them work very well on this paper. Okay, even the one that didn't perform this well in the cheaper papers. So next, it's okay. It's 100% cotton paper. Okay. The next one is also by Fabriano, but it's not a 25% cotton as the other one. This one is 100% cotton. Okay, so the results are even better. You can see the gradient, very smooth. Okay, the texture of the paper, beautiful. The mix is just perfect too, because it dries very slow, the paper. Again, it mixes very well. I like it. It's for the result of the colored pencils, because it almost seems watercolor, real watercolor, And again, the markers, very good, very happy with this paper. As I said, I like the brand, so I think maybe when I will buy some sheets of this paper to try. Okay. The last one that I will show you is one that is very famous. Almost everyone uses it for classes and for finished pieces, of course. Is Ash, by Ash, okay? Is 300 grams per square meters, this paper, and it feels heavier than the other one, okay? And the texture, as you can see, is very, it's very textured paper. It's not pressed, okay? And it's special for watercolors. This is again the test with some different brushes, and dries very slowly but not too slow as the other one. And I loved the results with the markers. I think it looks so good to mix a very classic paper with a contemporary technique such as markers, and I really loved the results. They seem very good. And I even tried a small draw with this paper, so I have here, and you can see that it has a texture that's beautiful, that will help you to build your drawings without that much control. So I really hope that these tests are useful for you. So maybe I will do more, maybe not, but I did a lot of testing, and I hope it helped you too. Okay, bye bye, see you next.